It's time for the Home Plate Report, sponsored by Pemco Insurance, for the love of prevention.
Well, if you've been following the Mariners this week, chances are you've experienced emotional whiplash. The M's are coming off one of the wildest weeks in franchise history, delivering thrilling walk-off wins while also suffering a pair of shocking blowout losses that left fans stunned. Here to break it all down in this week's Home Plate Report is Mr. Jake's Takes himself, Jake Knight. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how you doing?
Great.
Yep.
I have hope. I want to talk to you about how you really make sense of a week like this.
The roller coaster continues. That is the 2026 Seattle Mariners. It is a good thing that each game counts the same, no matter how much the Mariners win or lose by. In this last 6 games this last week, the Mariners had a negative 38 run differential, which I don't even know how that's possible over a 6-game span. And they somehow went 3-3. They had 2 exhilarating walk-off wins and 2 embarrassing blowout losses. Not much to make sense of in this week. Don't really know how to feel as a Mariners fan. I don't know whether to be happy, awesome wins. I don't know whether to be sad after the blowout losses. Kelly, I have no idea how to feel after this week.
We're crashing out. It's okay, but we're going to start with how we feel with what's going right. So what can you tell me on what you're feeling good about after this weekend?
The offense did show some good signs. Randy Arozarena was a huge part in the fact that the Mariners won any of these games.
Absolutely.
Specifically Saturday night. He put the team on his back. He had a leadoff home run on the very first pitch of the game. He robbed a home run in the 3rd inning.
Incredible.
Ended the game with a walk-off home run, securing a very important series win against a very good Chicago Cubs team. Also want to give flowers to Leo Rivas. He got the walk-off win on Friday night, and then he also extended Saturday's 9th inning with a 2-out hit that gave Randy the chance to do what he did. So Leo Rivas was instrumental in those wins. I want to give a shout out to him.
I'm so glad you did that. I was watching all of this, like every other Mariners fan. I was at home. I scared my neighbors. I had a feeling when Randy went up, I was like, I think he's going to hit a home run.
Feels good.
And Randy, like you said, he put the team on his back.
Beast.
I don't want to talk about this, but we must. My dad was like, don't talk about this, but I have to. Yesterday was ugly, 19-2 beat down. It was the 2nd really ugly loss in less than a week. What's your biggest concern coming out of a game like this?
In a week that they experienced the highest highs, they also experienced the lowest lows. They started the week losing 22-0 to the Milwaukee Brewers. There has not been a larger shutout defeat in Major League Baseball since the 1800s.
Ooh.
And then they ended their week losing 19-2 to the Chicago Cubs. What was the common denominator in both of those games? Bryce Miller was the starting pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. Miller was great to start his season coming off the injured list. He was as good as we've seen him in a Mariners uniform, but the last 8 starts have been ugly. He has an ERA over 7 in those 8 starts, and the Mariners have lost each one of those games that the Mariners have started. We just heard yesterday post-game that Miller's been dealing with a lat issue that we didn't know about. The plan has to change. Either he has to go on the injured list or something has to change moving forward, because running him out in the starting rotation is not working right now.
No, and it was his birthday too yesterday. We're like, happy
Totally
birthday,
forgot.
Bryce is going to totally turn it around. And then Bryce Miller had that happen on his birthday. So still happy birthday to you, Bryce.
Enjoy it as best you can.
Exactly. Let's talk about Cade Anderson, though. I tried to get tickets to the game, and it was just already sold out, packed.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited about him.
The buzz around Seattle, around the whole city is awesome. I mean, the best pitching prospect in baseball finally got the call to the big leagues. The Mariners drafted Cade Anderson 3rd overall in last year's draft. His fastball's low to mid-90s. He's not the usual new age pitching prospect touching 100 miles an hour. He thrives off of elite command and elite deception. He's probably been big league ready for a while. He had a 1.06 ERA this year in Double-A. He was unhittable. There just hasn't been room for him in the rotation. But with the Mariners trading Luis Castillo and Brian Wu feeling shoulder discomfort in his last start, it was the perfect opportunity for Anderson to come up. He had to face the Chicago Cubs, which are a potent offense, a very first tough taste in the bigs, but I thought he handled himself really well. First 4 innings were dynamite, no runs, 5 strikeouts, had the Cubs lineup off balance the whole time, gave up a run in the 5th, gave up 2 runs in the 6th. Simply looked like he ran out of gas. I don't think the Mariners should have sent him back out for the 6th inning.
I agree.
He was going against the lineup for the 3rd straight time, and again, this Cubs offense is so good. But there was a lot of good signs from his start. How does he slot into the rotation moving forward? It depends on Miller and Wu. Both could go on the injured list. Both could be healthy. If one of them goes on the injured list, he slots into their spot in the rotation. If they're both healthy, I think Miller's got to go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
I think he would work well in there. He would get an uptick in velocity, which would help him out a lot, pitching only 1 inning versus 5. And the bullpen's been shaky all year long. Adding a solidified arm would only help them. So I think all parties involved would win if everybody's healthy and that's how it would work.
How it all shakes out. It was so awesome to see Cade get the call. He was emotional talking to his teammates, and then being able to see him there in front of a, home team crew with his family in the audience. It's always just, I don't know, it brings tears to my eyes. It's pretty exciting. 100%. So I'm glad it went well. Agree with you. He should have been taken out though before the Cubs saw him for the 3rd rotation. Let's check the AL West standings, my friend. The Mariners are 3 games back of the Astros and Rangers, who are now tied for 1st place. The Mariners are also 3 games back in the wild card race with 5 weeks left of the regular season. Which route do you think is a more realistic possibility of sneaking into the playoffs at this point?
There's a lot of teams that separate the Mariners from the 3rd place wildcard spot. I think the division is the easiest route. They also have a series against the Rangers and the Astros coming up before the season's end. They both have tough schedules, the Rangers and the Astros, while the Mariners have an easier schedule that we'll talk about in a little bit. So I think that the route is easiest going in the division because there's 5 other teams that they have to jump, 5 or 6 teams they have to jump to get to the wild card spot, and it just doesn't seem super likely at this point. Okay,
I want to talk about the team leaderboard and why is it that it's Randy. He leads every category except for one, and he's only 1 hit behind the hit leader, Josh Naylor. Randy, I mean, what can we say besides the fact that he's dynamite? The way he's playing right now is unreal.
100% agree. Randy Arozarena has been the Seattle Mariners offense this year. People have had good seasons. Dominic Canzone has had a really good season. Cole Young has broken out this year, although he's struggling of late. Julio Rodriguez has his moments. Josh Naylor has his moments. But Randy Arozarena consistently the entire year has been the rock for the Mariners in that lineup. They're barely in playoff contention as is. I don't want to imagine where they would be without Randy Arozarena. He has been awesome.
Oh my gosh, he makes it look effortless too. I mean, we're looking at him stealing, the home run. He had a big smile on his face, jumped up like it was nothing, grabbed that. It's been so fun to watch. He might be my favorite player right now for sure. Let's look at what's on deck too this week. The M's finish up their homestand with 3 games against the Phillies. Then they go back to the East Coast for 3 games against Toronto, and then 3 games against Boston. What do we need to know first about the Phillies?
Yeah, so the schedule that has been challenging does not get any easier yet. They have the first of 3 games starting tonight against the Philadelphia Phillies, who have won 9 games in a row. Hopefully that means they are due for a loss. Tonight's game is going to be a great pitching matchup. We got Logan Gilbert versus Zach Wheeler, both teams aces dueling it out, so that'll be super fun to watch. The schedule eventually does get easier for the Mariners. Out of their last 31 games, only 6 of those games are against teams with records currently above 500. So the Phillies are one of those teams. The Red Sox are the other team that they face next week. The schedule should get easier. They've dug themselves quite the hole in the playoff race. An easy schedule doesn't mean automatic wins, but the opportunity is in front of them to get back into this playoff picture.
Amazing. Jake, I always love your takes. Let's talk about giveaways before you leave.
That's right.
First, Monday is Native American Heritage Night. It's a jersey giveaway for the first 10,000 fans, 21 and older, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. So sleek. Always feel like the Mariners show out with the swag. Incredible. And then I want to get to this one because I don't know if you're a fan. 4th Wing Night is Tuesday. It's sold out. Look at this jacket.
Wow.
So sleek. I'm kind of devastated. If you know someone, I don't know, send it my way.
That is so cool.
I also love what you're wearing. Big Dumper.
That's right. Yeah,
you have hope still for him, right?
I still do. I mean, he had a home run this last series. He shows spurts that it's still in there somewhere. There's no way that he can go from 60 home runs and be like this the entire next season. And the Mariners, like everybody's talked about, need Big Dumper to be the Big Dumper going down the stretch. Really big fan of this shirt here. Come from Simply Seattle. They got a bunch of really good stuff, including this Big Dumper job. So I've still got faith that he can do what he did last year.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Thank you so much for being here as always.
Thanks for having me.
And now a reminder from Pemco Insurance. With wildfires impacting communities across the Northwest, now is an important time to make sure you're prepared if conditions change. If you're not currently in an impacted area, take a few minutes to clear dry leaves refuse pine needles and debris from your roof, gutters, and around your home. It's also a good time to review your evacuation plan and make sure essentials are easy to grab if you need to leave quickly. And make sure everyone in your household, even the little ones, know where to go in case of an emergency. For more wildfire preparedness tips, visit pemco.com or use the QR code that you see right there on your screen, and we'll be right back.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Pemco Insurance.